Well, hey everyone, I just thought I would do a quick update. I've got little Milton here, we'll see how long he stays. So this is April 2020 and the whole world is reacting to the coronavirus. So currently in a lockdown, as it were, working from home, all that kind of stuff. Into my third week of that, and it's been a little bit interesting. Just adjusting to that sort of lifestyle, the blurring of work and home life, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, just thought I'd put a little quick vlog together and talk about sort of what we're going through. I mean, we have lovely days, we can't go out. In Australia, we're in a sort of semi-lockdown, not as strict as some other countries. So you're allowed to travel if you can't work from home, for daycare, that sort of thing. So Jillian is still going to daycare when we can, medical stuff, and just your usual shopping. So we're trying to manage all that. Of course, all the toilet paper is gone, so buy that when you can see it. And yeah, just trying to get by day to day. It's proving challenging. I thought working from home, with the whole working from home, how hard could that be? But it's actually proven to be quite stressful. Although I guess I should be glad that I'm still able to work, considering the amount of layoffs and stand downs that are happening in all the different industries that have been affected by the virus. Of course, one of my big hobbies is deals with aviation, so I'm keeping across everything that's happening there and the effects that that's had on Australia, and the effects that that's had around the world. Airlines have basically stopped flying, and it's making for some interesting times at the airports, but where I live in comparison to Sydney Airport doesn't means that I can't go and, one, check out just how quiet it is and get some interesting footage, and two, check out the interesting repatriation flights that have come through as well. It's just not worth the risk. When they're handing out fines for non-essential travel and how far I am from the airport, unfortunately I can't justify that for the hobby. It also means that because I'm spending a lot of screen time on the computer for work, I'm generally not really wanting to spend more time on the computer as I would have in the past. So there's just this interesting dynamics that are happening. So it means that we're trying to get out a bit more, for the exercise part. Milton's getting walked daily. We try and get Jillian outside when she's home with us. And that seems to be the case for half the suburb as well. So when we're out walking, we're seeing so many other people out too. Your first reaction is kind of like, why are all these people out? But then I suppose they would have been at work, they may have been exercising in other ways. And it's pretty much the only way we can exercise. So trying to reduce the judgment and remembering that we're out there as well. A lot of people are doing well with the whole social distancing. Some people don't seem to get it, and that can be frustrating. We're trying to beat this thing, and I'm trying not to watch the news too much because a lot of it is very negative, particularly from certain countries around the world, in how they're going through it and the numbers and all that kind of stuff. But at least for Australia at this point, it seems that the staying home and social distancing could be working. The problem we have is that we're going into winter, and apparently the virus likes it in the colder climates, so we're going to have to see how that goes. Being Australia, we don't get totally cold, but you just never know. We were quite fortunate. My parents were coming back from an overseas trip just before the restrictions came in, and my brother and sister-in-law came back. They had to do the whole self-isolation thing, so it's been tough on everybody, but at least they did get to travel. The amount of people who've had to cancel their plans, cancel weddings, trips, all sorts of things, the impact has been just unseen. And I mean, certainly in my lifetime we've never seen anything like this, but this seems to be across the board. No one has ever seen anything like this. So these are definitely challenging times. I recently fired up my old Star Trek Online account after about 8 years out of the game. A colleague of mine got into it, so maybe there's some avenues there, although that does increase screen time. So as I was saying before, it's probably not something I'll be doing too much of. Aside from that, we're just trying to keep Jillian entertained when she's home with us, and doing things with her. she's probably the least affected or least aware of what's going on. But you know, it's good for us to get out and just keep things sane, or as sane as we can. So trying to keep the normality amongst all of these, the weirdness that's going on. It'd be good to pick up some other hobbies instead, but because we can't go anywhere, the drone hasn't been flown since the beginning of the year. As I said before, I haven't been able to go to the airport and do any spotting, even though an Antonov came in over the weekend and I would have had a chance normally to go see it. I decided it just wasn't worth the risk, as said. You know, maybe I could get some Lego kits out, but you know, then it's finding the time and all that. So there's stuff to do. There's stuff around the house to do, so you know, probably looking at tidying up and a bit of housework here and there, and doing that to occupy ourselves. And again, as I was saying earlier, just to put in that border between work at home and just normal life at home. And you know, my birthday was in the middle of March, and it was just sort of at the beginning of all of these restrictions coming into place. And a lot of our friends also are March and April birthdays, and just the effect that this has had, they've all been very, you know, they've been birthdays in solitude basically. And again, that's been very weird. But in some cases, the social interactions have kind of gone up, because there's definitely been an increase in online communication with friends. And doing you know, messenger calls, video chats and that sort of thing. So that's been quite cool, just keeping those communication lines open, and trying not to go insane. Have seen from overseas, a friend of ours, their street has gatherings at a certain time so that they don't all lose their minds, and they actually get outside and they have a chat across the street with each other, which is a really cool concept. Can't imagine that happening on our street. We're just a little bit more segregated from our neighbors, but it's still, you know, it's interesting to see how humanity is adapting to the situation. And of course, you know, there are reports of the people who don't quite get it, and to those people, you know, you're the ones who are gonna, you know, muck it up for the rest of us. So yeah, we have no idea how long this is going to go for. And I guess the governments, they have no idea either, so they can't really paint a picture. We hear from other countries where they keep sort of extending their restrictions. Here we don't really have a timeline, but the word is that if social distancing seems to be working, then some of the restrictions can be loosened. And certainly we're looking forward to whenever that might come. For my money, I'd be thinking it might be the end of May when we might start hearing things, but that's still 6 weeks away. Yeah, so we just gotta all get through this. And I mean, there's plenty of videos out there from celebrities. We're all in this together, and all that kind of stuff. You know, the conspiracy theories and things about this as well. I guess buying into that's not going to help. We are in this situation, and I suppose we've just got to make the most of it. So yeah, as simple as it sounds, or as you know, wash your hands, stay clean, and stay safe. I do have a few other vlogs in the works, so they'll be going online as well, but I just thought I'd check in with everybody. That's it, I guess. So yeah, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.